I'm Jennifer with Zen Gentleistic. So today I want to talk about three different words we hear all the time in the healing and personal growth space. So those words are self-love, you probably heard me say it all the time, self-worth, and self-compassion. And what do they actually mean beyond those buzzwords? So, as a Reiki practitioner who helps people overcome trauma and embody a positive self image, these are actions and words that I really hold closely to me because they aren't just ideas to understand, they're experiences to embody. So, let's dive in first. Now, what is self love? You probably have a little bit of a basic understanding, like bubble baths and positive affirmation and thinking happy thoughts. And those are beautiful tools. They really, really are. And I highly recommend them. But true self love is how you treat yourself when things are uncomfortable. So it's that ability to stay present with yourself instead of abandoning yourself. So that could look like listening to your body when it says no. So, AKA those boundaries, honoring your emotions instead of suppressing them. That's a big one. And choosing alignment over approval. Does this align with me? So, at its core, self love is safety in your own presence. It's teaching your nervous system that I am here for me. Now, what is self worth? Now, self worth is the belief that you are valuable and worthy of all good things, not because of what you do, act, achieve, produce, or give to others. Many of us are conditioned to believe our worth has to be earned. Like, I have to do this in order to receive that. It has to be earned through productivity and by being good enough. I felt that one. But real self worth says, I am worthy simply because I exist. I love that affirmation. Now, when you embody self worth, you stop over explaining, you stop settling, and you stop proving that you're worthy, and you just know that you are. Self worth creates those energetic boundaries and it shifts from how you show up in relationships, work, and even with your own self healing. Now, that third favorite buzzword is self compassion. What is it? Self compassion is often the missing piece. It's the ability to meet yourself where you are with kindness instead of criticism, especially during those hard moments. Now, I know this is a really big one for us, especially in the mental health industry. We feel this a lot. Like we come and look at ourselves and we attack ourselves, but we don't do it out of a place of kindness. We do it out of a place of criticism, like I'm not good enough or I did this, so there's something wrong with me. Self compassion allows you to feel safe. It is knowing to yourself that I'm allowed to be human. I don't need to shame myself or feel guilt about doing something that I enjoy. And I can grow and thrive without punishing myself. This is especially important for those of us healing trauma, abandonment wounds, or patterns of self betrayal. Healing doesn't require force, it requires gentleness, patience, and grace. Now, how these three work together is self love is your commitment to yourself. Self worth is your foundation, it's that groundwork. Self compassion is how you move through the process. You do not have to master them overnight because these practices are energetic habits that you build over time. Now, when you start to embody them, something powerful happens. That shift happens where you stop searching externally for what you think you deserve and allow yourself to receive with ease because you know that you are ultimately worthy. Now, trauma can affect the way we see ourselves. It changes our self perception because it disrupts what our senses feel as safe, trust, and belonging. Now, when something feels overwhelming, we don't feel like we have the support, protection, or understanding we need, your nervous system may shift into that survival mode. Now, in survival mode, it may look like a few different things, like something's wrong with me, I'm not safe to be myself and to act this way, or I have to change who I am to survive. How many of those have really hit us on that core level? Like, I have to change something in order to be seen or valued or worthy. No, that's absolutely not true. Trauma often creates an identity rooted in protection rather than truth. So you may begin to see yourself as too much or not enough, a burden, unlovable or unsafe to need things, responsible for others' emotions, and only worthy when you're useful or pleasing. These beliefs are not facts. They are adaptations to what we thought we needed to do in order to survive. Trauma can lead to a sense of self abandonment. Now, to stay safe, many people will ignore their needs, suppress their emotions, override their boundaries, or disconnect from their bodies. Your healing isn't about becoming someone new. It's about returning to who you were before you learned that you had to abandon yourself to survive. And that version of you is still in there. It's waiting for safety. It's waiting to feel that self-compassion and that love. Now, how can self-love, self-worth, and self-compassion affect our mental health? So when they are all present, our mental health feels more alive and thriving. It leads us to more regulated and supported and resilient self-compassion. But when they're missing, we can experience anxiety, burnout, depression, people pleasing, that's a big one, and chronic self-doubt. Self-love impacts mental health by creating emotional safety within ourselves. When you trust yourself enough to show up for your needs, your nervous system can relax. Anxiety often softens because you're no longer at war with yourself. How many of us feel like we're at war with ourselves? That's where that self-love comes in. Self-worth affects how we interpret our experiences. Low self-worth turns mistakes into proof that we're not enough. But a healthy self-worth allows challenges without spiraling into shame, self-blame, or comparison. Self-compassion is what carries us through the hard lessons. Without it, we criticize ourselves for feeling sad, tired, or overwhelmed. But with it, our emotions are allowed to move through gracefully instead of getting stuck. That's where that Reiki comes in. Move those blockages, move that energy. So, what are some ways that you can show yourself love if you're feeling down? So, when you're in a low place, self love does not need to be big, loud, or even perfect. It needs to be gentle, realistic, and meet you where you are. So, here are three simple, embodied ways to practice self love during difficult moments. Number one, let the feeling exist without fixing it. Now, I know you're probably thinking, like, what does that mean? So, what that means is allow yourself to feel. Do not suppress those emotions. Write it out if you feel like you need to scream into a pillow. Just allow yourself to be a few moments with yourself and really just feel like, I don't like this moment. I don't like how I'm feeling. And remember that you do not need to rush into positivity or a positive mindset. Allow yourself to feel how you need to feel. Allow the emotions to be present without judgment. Allow yourself to feel self-compassion, feeling that it makes sense that I feel this way. Just allow yourself to be in that moment. That leads me to tip number two, lower the bar. Self-love sometimes looks like doing less, not pushing through, especially when you are feeling those heavy thoughts. Cancel plans. It's really good at asserting your boundaries. Take a break and say no. Rest is not weakness, it's wisdom, and it's self love, and it's without being self abandoning. And number three, ask for support without shame. It's okay to ask for help. I may be a Reiki practitioner of 7 years, but I still ask for help when I need it. I still go and do healing techniques if I am feeling low and feeling down after I have had a moment to sit with my emotions. Reaching out doesn't mean that you're failing. It doesn't. It means that you're honoring that you're human and that you're having a tough experience. And it's something that we all go through, and you don't have to go through it alone. A gentle reminder is that you don't need to love yourself perfectly to heal. You don't need to feel confident to be worthy, and you don't need to be positive to be deserving of care or love. Showing yourself love during hard and difficult moments is what rewires relationships with yourself and over time transforms your mental health from the inside out.